Hello, welcome to another music class with Mr. Ola. Today we will continue our discussion on the topic intervals. In the previous video, we established that interval is the distance in pitch between two notes. We also said that we have two types of intervals, harmonic and melodic. Remember that harmonic is between notes that are played at the same time, while melodic is between notes that are played one after the other. Okay, we also said that to find intervals, two things are involved. We have the quantity and the quality. For quantity, we are talking about how many notes are involved, while for quality, we are talking about the forms of intervals. And the forms of the intervals are major, minor, perfect, augmented, and diminished. Remember that? Okay, so today we want to focus on the quality aspect of intervals, and to start that, we are going to find number of semitones. So to find our quality, we need to find the number of semitones in the intervals, and to do this, we'll be making use of the chromatic scale. Now, the chromatic scale has 12 notes. It contains all the notes on the keyboard. Is what we have in the chromatic scale, and each of them are a semitone apart. This is a picture of what the chromatic scale means. We have the C to C sharp, D to D sharp, E to F, F to F sharp, G to G sharp, A to A sharp, B, and then C. Alright, so you notice that some of those notes have two names. They wrote C sharp and D flat. Alright, so that key is the same name for one person, right? It's the same person, but it just has two different names. So C sharp and D flat are the same. Your D sharp and E flat are the same. Your F sharp and G flat are the same. The G sharp and A flat are the same. Also, your A sharp and B flat are the same. They are referring to the same person. They simply just have two different names. So if, for example, now I'm asked to find the number of semitones from C to G, okay, this will have 7 semitones. Now, how do we get that? Okay, if we use our chromatic scale here, we see that we'll see how we move from C to C sharp is 1 semitone. From C sharp to D is another semitone, making 2. From D to D sharp is another semitone, making what? 3. From D sharp to E is another semitone, making what? 4. From E to F is a semitone, making 5. From F to F sharp is semitone number 6, and then from F sharp to what? To G is semitone what? 7. So that movement up down is a movement of semitones. So for us to get the number of semitones, we have to move like that, up down, up down, up down. The only places where you have to go straight is when you are going from E to F and then from B to C, because there's nobody in between both of them. So they are the only two that you go straight. But for the others, you have to go up, down, up, down. Do you get? Okay. Okay, so now let's go into finding the intervals proper. Let's pick them in batches. Let's start with the major and minor intervals. Now, the picture here shows us the number of semitones that each of these intervals will have. So, a minor second will have 1 semitone. A major second will have 2 semitones. A minor third will have 3 semitones, while a major third will have 4 semitones. A minor sixth will have 8 semitones, while a major sixth will have 9 semitones. A minor seventh will have 10 semitones, while a major seventh will have 11 semitones. Okay, so we'll look at how to find that soon. Now you observe that I skipped the perfect fourth, tritone, the perfect fifth, the perfect octave. The reason I skip is because we want to focus on minor and major intervals for now. Okay, so now you see that they've written minor second, meaning that they've combined both the quantity and the quality. So remember again that to find your interval, the first thing to do is to what? Find your quantity. That's how many letters are we using, or how many letters are involved. Then the next thing is to what? Find the number of semitones. Once you have found the number of semitones, that will direct you to this table, and then you check the table and say, okay, it has one semitone, it's a second and it has one semitone, meaning it is what? Minor. Or you say, okay, it's a second and it has two semitones, meaning it is what? Major. Okay, so now let's do some examples on this. We'll do number 1, D to F, we'll do E to D sharp, number 3, B flat to G flat, and then G to A. Okay, so the first one now, D to F. Now the first thing to do is what? Find our what? Quantity. All right, so if we look at it, D to F, the quantity will be 3. Why? Because we have 3 letters involved here. So let's count now from D all the way to F. So we have D, we have E, and then we have F. So there are what? 3 letters. So the quantity is a what? A third. Do we get that? So the quantity is a what? A third. Okay, once we've done that, the next thing to do is now find the number of semitones. Okay, so let's check that now. So from D to F now, if you use our chromatic scale, we look at it from D, we have to go to what? D sharp. That's 1. From D sharp, we have to go down to E. That's 2. From E, then we move towards F. That's what? 3. So we have 3 semitones. So now this interval is a third and it has 3 semitones. So if we check our interval table or our interval chart, we'll see that when it is a third and it has 3 semitones, it is a minor third. The other one there is a what? Major third. But a major third has how many semitones? 4. Has 4 semitones. So because it has 3 semitones, it's a what? A minor third. So our interval is what? So the interval of D to F is a what? A minor third. Is that clear? Okay, good. Okay, so let's move to the next example. This one is E to D sharp. Now we are going to use the same method or the same approach. The first thing to do is to find what? Yes, the quantity. All right, so to find the quantity, we are going to check what? The notes that are involved. All right, so we are going to check what? E, we are going to have E, we are going to have F, we are going to have G, we are going to have A, we are going to have B, C, and D. Now take note of 2 things here. First thing is, in music we make use of the alphabet A to G. So whenever you come across G, the next alphabet that should come is what? A. Are we there? So that's why we have E, F, G, then we went to what? A. Good. That's the first thing. So the second thing is that when we are working on quantity, we ignore sharp or flat. So whether the note has a sharp or it has a flat, in finding quantity we are not concerned. So that's why we only checked for E, F, G, A, B, C, and we stopped at what? D. We didn't say okay, D sharp. No, for quantity we don't need that. But when we are doing the quality, we will now work with the sharp or flat. Okay, so this interval has what? 7 notes involved, so it's what? A 7th. Okay, now we figure that it's a 7th. The next thing for us to do is to find the number of what? Semitones. That will give us the quality, right? All right, so if we are going to check for number of semitones now from E, now let's use our chart again. From E, or let's use our chromatic scale rather. From E we go to what? F, right? From F we go to what? F sharp. From F sharp we go to what? G. That's 3, right? From G we go to G sharp, 4. From G sharp we go to what? A. That's number 5. From A we go to A sharp, that's number 6. From A sharp we go to what? B, that's number 7. From B we go to what? C, that's number 8, right? Okay, from C we go to C sharp, number 9. From C sharp we go to D, number 10. And from D we go to what? D sharp, that's number what? 11. So it has what? 11 semitones. So this interval this interval is a seventh, and it has 11 semitones. So next thing is what? Check our interval chart. If you look at our interval chart, a seventh with 11 semitones is a major seventh. Are we there? So the essence of looking at our chart is to know, is it a major or minor? Is it perfect? Is it augmented? Is it diminished? Do you understand? So is a what? This one is a what? Major 7, because it has 11 semitones. Assuming it had 10 semitones, it should have been a minor 7th. Do we get that? Good. Beautiful. So number 3 is B flat to G flat. Okay, so let's follow the same approach or the same process and do this one. Okay, you can pause the video and try it out, then come back to check if you were correct, just to know that you are following. Okay, so I'll continue now. So B flat to G flat, the first thing we have to do is to find our quantity. Remember that in finding the quantity, we ignore sharp or flat that we see there. So we will ignore the flats here. So we are going to concentrate on B to G. So let's check that now. B to G, we have B, we have C, we have D, E, F, and what? And G. So we have 6 alphabets that are involved in this interval. 6 alphabets: B, C, D, E, F, G, and what? A. Remember that whenever you get to G, the next alphabet will be what? A. So we only use what? A to G. Okay, so now we have 6 alphabets, so it is a 6th. All right, that is settled. Now the next thing is to find the quality, and for us to do that, we need to find number of semitones. All right, so to find number of semitones now, let's use our chromatic scale. Now from B flat, we will go to B. From B we will go to C, that makes 2. From C we go to C sharp, that's 3. From C sharp we go to D, that's 4. From D we go to D sharp, that is 5. From D sharp we go to what? E, that's 6. From E we move to F, that's 7. F we go to F sharp, that's 8. Okay, 8. Now take note that F sharp and G flat are the same. Okay, so once we get to F sharp, it's the same thing as G flat, so that's where we are stopping. All right, so that was what? 8 semitones from what? B flat to G flat. We had what? 8 semitones. All right, so the next thing now is to check our interval chart. So we can see that it is a what? A 6th, and it has 8 semitones. So if you look at this chart, realize that it is a what? A minor 6th. Assuming it had 9 semitones, it would have been a what? A major 6th. But this one has what? It has 8 semitones, so it is a what? A minor 6th. This is quite understandable, right? Okay, good. Okay, so let's do number 4. Number 4 is G to A. G to A. This one is actually the simplest. G to A. Okay, so first thing is the quantity. So from G to A, we only have 2 letters. We have letter G and letter A. So it's a what? A second. All right, so for the quality now, let's check our chromatic scale. From G we go to G sharp, and then from G sharp we go to what? A. So it has 2 semitones. G to G sharp, that's 1. Then G sharp to A, that is what? 2. Okay, so it's a second and it has 2 semitones. That gives us a what?
If we look at our interval chart, that is a major second. So this brings us to the end of the class. It was nice having you. In the next class, we'll continue with perfect, augmented, and diminished intervals. Okay, stay tuned. Bye. Okay, if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment. You can also share. Thank you. Bye.